Today, we're diving into a really powerful and honestly pretty unsettling idea: what's being called the black hole of attention. We're going to take a hard look at this crisis of lost focus in our digital world, especially for our kids, because it's something that truly affects every single one of us. It all starts with this feeling, doesn't it? This quiet unease you can't quite put your finger on, but you see it everywhere. In restaurants, on the bus, people are just looking down at their screens instead of up at each other. This isn't just a small change. It feels like a massive shift in how we live, and I think we can all sense it. And that feeling, it's not just some minor annoyance. It's really the sign of a silent crisis. So to get our heads around it, we're going to use this one core metaphor that really explains what's happening to our attention: the black hole. So, what exactly is this black hole of attention? Well, think of it like an actual black hole. It's a system that's designed to pull everything in: our time, our energy, and maybe most importantly, our kids' curiosity. And what do we get back? Just fleeting impressions, not real understanding. We get constant stimulation, but no actual personal growth. It's a trade that, leaves us feeling pretty empty. Now, this is absolutely crucial. It's so easy to blame people, to say we lack willpower, but that completely misses the point. This is not about individual failure. It's a systemic problem. It's a huge, flashing alarm bell for our whole society, because this system was designed by big tech with one goal in mind: to capture our attention and sell it for profit. And look, if that feeling of unease isn't enough to convince you, let's just look at the cold, hard data. Because the numbers, they aren't just talking, they are screaming a warning about what this is doing to our youngest generation, and it's a warning we just can't afford to ignore anymore. Okay, just let this one sink in for a second. 1 hour and 51 minutes. That is the average daily screen time for babies as young as 9 months old. We're talking about infants here. This isn't just background noise, it's rewiring their brains from day one, messing with concentration and sleep before they can even walk. And it doesn't get better. For young adults ages 16 to 25, that number just skyrockets to 6 or even 7 hours a day. Think about that. For so many, screens aren't just part of their life anymore, they pretty much are their life. And what's wild is that over half of these kids openly admit their own screen time is way too much. So what's the consequence of all this? Well, here it is. Just look at that jump in emotional problems among high school students in just 4 years. And among girls, that figure is a staggering 43%. The connection here is just impossible to deny. And this mental health crisis has the most tragic consequences you can imagine. Early in 2024, the number of kids needing help for suicidal thoughts or attempts was 32% higher than it was back in 2019. This isn't just a statistic. It's a gut-wrenching reflection of a generation in real pain. So you have to ask, what's behind this pain? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is one of the darkest parts of this digital world: the absolute explosion of cyberbullying. It's a new kind of cruelty that follows our children absolutely everywhere. I mean, the World Health Organization is now reporting that 1 out of every 6 young people experiences cyberbullying. This isn't some rare thing anymore. It's becoming a common and totally devastating part of growing up online. And that's a huge jump from just a few years back. And where is all this happening? On the exact platforms where they spend all their time. We're talking YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. These aren't the dark corners of the internet. These are the main digital playgrounds for millions of kids, and they've become breeding grounds for constant harassment. And this is what makes it so much worse. With old school bullying, you could at least go home. Your bedroom was a safe space. But with cyberbullying, there is no escape. The phone brings the harassment right into their room, under their roof. They are literally never safe. And a result of that relentless pressure, it's as stark as it gets. Young people who are victims of cyberbullying are twice as likely to attempt suicide or to self-harm. This is so much more than kids being mean online. It has literal life or death consequences. So, with all of this evidence, with these numbers screaming in our faces, you have to ask the big question, right? Why isn't more being done? Why does it feel like society is just paralyzed? Well, it's not one simple thing. It's this messy, complex cycle. For one, adults are often just as caught up in the same system. Parents are exhausted, schools are completely overloaded. And trying to resist feels like swimming against a tsunami, especially when our whole culture seems to value constant noise over any kind of quiet reflection. When you look at all this, it is so easy to feel completely hopeless. Are we just doomed? Are we all just going to get pulled deeper and deeper into this black hole? Is there any way out? Yes. The answer is yes, there is a way out. But it's not some quick tech fix or a new app. Escaping this is going to take a huge cultural shift, a real, conscious effort to reclaim what it means to be human in the first place. So what can we do? Well, here are the forces that can actually break that gravitational pull. First, we have to restore attention. We need to actively teach our kids and ourselves to be okay with silence, to find value in quiet moments where creativity can actually happen. Second, digital education has to become a core school subject, one that's not about how to use an app, but about what that app is designed to do to your brain. Third, we have to rebuild real-world communities, local clubs, sports, anything where real human connection is the main event. And finally, and maybe this is the most important one, we have to start prioritizing genuine, face-to-face contact over staring at each other through screens. There's a line that sums up this entire battle perfectly. The system's strength is speed. Consciousness's counterforce is depth. You see, the whole digital system is built for speed, endless scrolling, instant reactions. Our greatest weapon against that is depth. Deep thinking, deep relationships, deep awareness. Speed might win the moment, but depth is what truly lasts. And that really brings us to the final, most important idea here. The problem isn't the screen itself. The real question is so much bigger. It's about changing the entire system that has made the screen the default parent, the default friend, the default babysitter. The goal can't just be to manage screen time. The goal has to be to build a world that leaves us and our kids enough room to just be human. A world where real connection is always more valuable than consumption.